Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories.
And Dustin from Dustin is Driving. And today we're going to talk about Uber shutting down nationwide.
No, not so
What?
fast.
Oh, come on now. You know they're going to.
No, not everywhere they're going to be shutting down, only certain areas.
Ah,
So you're going to see a lot of articles that may be out there that say Uber and Lyft are shutting down when it comes to any curfew, but that's not really the case. Certain areas, yes, that will be true. So if you live in certain cities where the curfew is in place and they have either asked Uber or Lyft or these other companies like food delivery apps and that to shut down, that's where they're going to shut down. And then where they say that essential services are still okay to travel during their curfews, that is when Uber and Lyft and these other companies will still remain open and operational. So some people may be allowed to go on at that point.
that's right. And if you want to find out if you're actually one of those people, your best bet is to turn on the app and it'll, test it out, see if you can actually go online. But a lot of places now they're saying there's going to be no type of travel at all whatsoever in these certain cities because of the riots and everything else that's going on. You don't want to be caught being a getaway driver for anybody because, hey, let's face it, it ain't worth it. All right. And driver safety is definitely, supposed to be number one. And personally, for me, when all these people that are out there doing their thing, and if you're in the city that doesn't have this curfew in place or does have it in place, but you're essential, so you can still go out there, it's just not going to be worth the money, guys. It's not worth the headache of what could possibly happen to you or your vehicle. That's just my opinion, though.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind going out and going around seeing what's going on more as like a background type person who's actually like just capturing stuff like that. To me, I'm not bothered by in any way. But yeah, when you're talking about turning on these apps, if you got to get out of Dodge or go through Dodge, that can be harder to do if you're, transporting a person, transporting food, whatever it might be. They could send you directly into some of these protests that do turn violent. And when it comes down to it, it's your car, your choice, and your safety. And essentially, that's what you should be taking care of. But if you want to continue going out there in certain cities, make sure you have a police scanner. Make sure you are paying attention to the places that may have certain people that are there, so you can avoid at least those areas and protect yourself if you still have to go out and make money, because we all know it's tough for a lot of people out there, and it's even tougher during this time because first of all, we just got off of this whole corona pandemic for the last 2 months, and now they're starting to reopen things. We just hit phase 2 in the reopening. So it's this whole crazy thing of what's going on.
Oh yeah, I think everyone's been pissed off and whatnot, and being quarantined for the last 3 months, that they're just letting their aggression and everything else get the better of them. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking, because things are just going too crazy out there. And right now, guys, like we're gonna show you guys some articles. You want to definitely make sure that if you are not having to go somewhere, don't go out there and do it, especially in these certain cities that have the curfew in place. Otherwise, like Chris was saying, it'd be fine to go out. If you want to go out there and venture and see what's actually going on in video or whatever the hell you want to do, while we say you shouldn't, hey, you're going to do what you got to do. But
Yeah.
please don't risk yourself or anybody else going to pick up a bunch of passengers or something, because you don't know what they're doing or anything else, or what their intentions are. They might just be seeing what can happen, who can actually pull up, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you might be the next casualty. It isn't worth it for me. But let's go ahead and tell them where the cities are going to be shutting down at.
All right, so this right here is a article from BuzzFeed, and this is talking about how food delivery apps are still up processing orders after curfews. And again, it's going to be talking about Uber and Lyft because they are also deemed essential services. So again, it's going to come down to how they distinct the curfew. If they say no travel whatsoever, that's where Uber, Lyft, and these food delivery apps are all going to shut down at the time that it happens. So if it's 8 p.m., if it's 9, if it's 5, some places are calling it at different times. But again, if it's areas that are saying that it's essential travel can occur at that time, then you can still go online for the apps. So they're saying about 40 cities in the U.S. instituted curfews. Food delivery workers will still be on the hook for deliveries. And they're talking about there's 140 U.S. cities that have been protesting against what has been going on. I think we all know what it is, but they're talking about certain places that will not allow it. So like Minneapolis, San Francisco, and Oakland, at the request of city officials, will not process orders or rides after the curfew begins. But in several areas, a lot of cities will continue on. So New York, Philly, Washington, D.C., they will still allow Uber, Lyft, and food operations to continue going on. So it says right here, it says New York City, for instance, enacted an 11 p.m. curfew for June 1st. This was changed to an 8 p.m. curfew for June 2nd, which is today. According to an Uber Eats spokesperson, the Uber Eats and Uber rides were deemed essential services in New York City and New York State, which is why it will continue to process orders. The spokesperson said delivery workers and drivers will receive information about the curfews in the app. So if you are an affected area worker, meaning you're in a city that has a curfew and you want to go online, it might tell you you can't go online because they are instituting a no ride or no driving or delivering policy at that point.
Yep. So like we were saying earlier, your best bet is go ahead and you're going to have to open your app and find out for yourself if you're in those deemed areas. But at the same time, like it says here, it says our teams on the ground are working closely with cities on how to best support them based on their needs to the local situations. Some cities have requested that we suspend operations during curfew hours, while others want to ensure Uber is available for essential services. So if you are in one of those areas that still continue to do that, then it is on you to decide if it's actually, worth the risk or your time to even go out there. Because in the end, guys, this is really all about safety. And with as bad as it's been getting out there, honestly, if you don't have to go, you shouldn't go because no one's safe until all this is over with.
Yeah, and then one of the things too, it says in this article, and a link will be in the description below, so if you want to read that, you can. It says while they could choose not to work, food delivery workers and again rideshare workers often don't have an economic safety net, meaning they might have to work on multiple apps at one time and work multiple jobs in order to make ends meet. In dense cities such as New York, they often travel by bike, and so it can cause.
Which we definitely highly recommend you not go out there and do, especially in New York. Please, everyone use common sense in the end. I mean, that's what it's all going to come down to. It's your choice and what you want to go do. But we're just letting you know that in a lot of cities, you might not have that choice because they're going to say you can't go online, you can't go out there and drive. Which honestly, I don't think anybody should. I really don't, because it's not safe for anybody. And I mean, come on, guys. If something happens to you guys, like what happened? Do you think the companies are going to have your back? You're going to be getting, unemployment from them or something like that, or what is it? Workman's comp? You ain't getting no workman's comp. Trust me, you ain't paying for that. You definitely ain't getting a piece of that pie. But your vehicles get damaged and everything else. Who's going to pay for it? I mean, you like to think insurance, but they're still deductible to everything. So please, guys, don't go out there if you don't have to. If you need to find out if your city is affected or not, just open your app. It's going to tell you everything you need to know there.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the big things, though, again, too, if you are in an area that allows you to continue working, even though there's curfew, and you do go out, whatever you do, be careful out there because it's pretty crazy and things erupt from peaceful to crazy very quickly. So whatever it is, like I say, if you do have to go out, because, I'm not going to say what to do. Dustin's not either. We can only just give our opinions, but whatever you do, make sure you be smart about things. Make sure you know or try to pay attention to what's going on. Like I said, get a police scanner, have that running if you can, so you know exactly where things are going on. You can avoid those areas. So if you get ride requests in around that area or even food delivery requests there, then you know. And then also there's a lot of places that are going to enact curfews through this weekend. So it's going to happen every single night through the weekend. My area is one of those areas that is going to enact a curfew. Now, it's only for the city of Buffalo itself and the bordering suburbs, towns. So other areas are not going to be affected, but they may widen it to the entire county, and it could be something like that. But again, it's going to deem if you're essential or not when it comes down to saying no travel whatsoever or essential travel only. Just be smart out there, whatever you do.
And not to mention, if this doesn't stop soon, they're going to probably continue to widen the net and lengthen the time of when these curfews are going to keep going on. So if you don't have to go out there, please don't, because you don't want to be any part of whatever's going to go down. But all right, guys, please be safe out there. As always, check the description below for extra information and tips. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the little bell icon so that way you get notified when we come out with new videos. And as always, guys, till next time, Uber on or don't.
If you can.
If you can, that's right.
All right, see you, everybody.